Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was speaking, but I was muted. Oh, unfortunately. Okay. Okay. So let me say it again. I was announcing that for your mid, we are going to keep only 1 to 3, 1 to 3, these three units, and these 3 units I have uploaded on the PPTs. Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3. You can get the PPT which we have presented in the class. Most of the contents are from this very book. The textbook that we are following is from O'Reilly. It is from White's book. Okay, so most of the contents are from the very book. Okay. And we have fourth chapter to start, but okay, we are not in a hurry. Okay, so too much theory have been so far. Okay, in tomorrow's class, I will try to again. I will probably do all the command line interface in HDFS. Execute here in the Hadoop system in the framework and show you. Okay. So although we can talk a little bit about this, but okay, let's keep it this way. If we get time, we will establish about input output. So fourth unit, we will jump to fourth unit, but after a while. And the things which will be coming will have a lot more practical stuff to see. Okay, so what I was planning, just to recap what happened in Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, okay? And then we will do some practical stuff in tomorrow's class. We have 2 hours of class, so for this week before you go for mid, okay? So we'll try to execute some command and see some practical thing happening about the theory which we have already discussed. So this is the chapter 4, which we will touch after a while. Okay, this is Hadoop input output. Again, I must highlight that most of the content are from this book, so you don't have to roam around here and there. Okay, majority of the content of your syllabus and what we are talking about in the class are from this very book. So please read them. In the weekly assignment 2, I have uploaded some portion of this book. You just have to read it and write summary, something like that. Okay, so no turning in the assignment 2. Assignment 1 was quite. Oh, still one is missing. I don't know who is missing. Yes, Shivam is missing. Oh, Shivam has quit already. I've been told. But unit, yeah. So assignment 2, no turning assignment 2. You should try to do that. It will help you in preparing for your mid semester as well. I will put some more questions. Okay, so we saw this. This all happened in unit 1. Okay, we started with some background that you have already familiar with. Okay, the definitions and some applications of the data, source of the data, etc. So you are already so familiar, and you're in fact tired of hearing all these things. I there. Okay, so in first unit, we largely had discussed these things, but okay, some new things also, data storage analysis, file system we discussed, distributed file system we discussed, problem with DFS, and what problem with DFS we encounter, so that we'll have to switch to SDFS. So SDFS brings some solution, we have discussed that, and SDFS solution as well. Okay, so that was in unit 1. Unit 2 included this part, unit 2, map reduce. In fact, the mainly map reduce part is included on the definition. We will have map reduce more in detail, with more programming, etc. So MapReduce programming, MapReduce example, MapReduce properties, MapReduce characteristics, okay, all these things we had seen in unit 2. Okay, so this example of weather data, this example is given in the book, the very book we talked. Okay, so this is a simple script written, or this is the format of the weather data. And analyzing the data with Unix tool, okay, data, MSDC data, the climate data, okay, it was with Unix tool. Again, all these components we have from Hadoop, the book, and the speeding of the process. We discussed some. We started talking about MapReduce with some problems, okay, that I encountered with the big data, and MapReduce reference. Those are overcome those problems. So the traditional ways of distributed processing, and then what are the challenges when we do the distributed computing, analyzing the data with Hadoop, and with MapReduce example. We also saw driver class, and then some examples of course. So this example is quite famous example, is available in public text written about MapReduce in any article. If you read on internet, you get this. But this example is not given in Hadoop. I got it different source. Okay, so all these are, okay, this is not a part of this example. This is different example. Okay, so this is the example of word count, and what is the advantage of MapReduce. Main example of MapReduce is parallel processing and data locality, and some data flow in MapReduce, maps and single reduce. So we can see how these. Okay. Manual function, MapReduce data flow with no reduce task. Some example again, Hadoop streaming, some definition, Hadoop streaming, what it is. And some links are also given where the information are taken, you can refer. Hadoop streaming example with Python, okay, you can have a look at all these programs. So, network code. Okay, so this is you should also pay attention to these lines, because then they can also be asked a question in the exam. Okay, how Hadoop streaming works described here is quite a lot. Important command in Java, which is used in writing MapReduce program, as we know that MapReduce program can be written in Java and Python. So essentially, this focuses on Java. The streaming example. So this is the same example, taken the temperature example. Okay, and this Hadoop pipes then, and then then we have finished with Hadoop pipes. And then Unit 3, we had in Unit 3, this is not the part of Unit 3, this is about the SDFS. Okay. So, yes. So don't get mistaken by this. Okay, this is concept of design of SDFS, command line interface, data flow of SDFS, and Hadoop archives. We will discuss all these things. So, what is SDFS? Definition, features of SDFS. We see SDFS architecture. We have seen SDFS architecture in we discussed data node block, data block splitting, okay, data replication, which is important. You also getting more feeling of these things in the special class that you've been or you have started taking. Okay, so you're getting more feeling of this stuff. Name node, standby name node, why it is needed. Okay, data node, then we talked about SDFS features. What are the SDFS features? SDFS block size. Okay, what are the default sizes of, what is the default size of the files which are distributed in various data nodes? We have seen all these. And what are the some specifications or the parameters which are related to the storage device, like transfer time and seek time. So these things we have discussed, and we have seen some more thing about storage device like disk, disk. Difference between seek time and transfer time, we can comparison. Goal of SDFS, we have seen SDFS as a primary storage with cache, and read operation in SDFS, how the reading operation is done, how the writing operation is done step by step with all the flow. We have seen these. Okay. Access SDFS using Java, and there's some programs through which you can you access files, you read files, you close files, you write files. So using Java API. So all these things have already been talked about. And SDFS command line interface, so several commands. So these commands would be better, if we type this and we just see uh, in Hadoop system, if we type this and see what it happens, what it does. Okay, so on these commands, not only to memorize or to keep in head, but also line by line and sequentially you just type it and see what it does. Okay, so this is also recommended. Okay, in tomorrow's class, we I'm planning to do all these in the group system, so you can get more feeling. Okay. So all these things. So these command lines, what they do are important. Okay, so if you have already installed Hadoop framework in your computer, then okay, it should be written and executed and get feeling of this command. Okay, so we have all these stuff in the class. Okay. So most of the things we discuss. Okay, so all these commands, programs. Okay, so third is quite long because some of the things which are included something more than what we have just in the syllabus. That is why it is more. So these many slides are in the bullet point. So only that is why I thought only to keep unit 3 in your syllabus. Okay, so in please, yeah, you have all the things ready? Just start reading or start scanning all the PPTs, and also the book chapter indicated in the textbook that I have uploaded already. Okay, so I have uploaded 2 books. One is the textbook, and the other is is a book which is for dummies. It says, but things are nicely explained even in this book. So Wiley Hadoop for dummies. Okay, so it is not, uh, it does not include so many programs, but it is somehow also comprehensive book. It doesn't have too many programs. These 2 books I have uploaded. Please do download. If you cannot download, let me know. Let's start. Okay. So I will briefly introduce the 4th chapter. Hadoop input output, in which we will essentially talk about these 4 topics, but these 4 topics will include few lectures, okay, maybe 5 to 6 lectures, more, I don't know. It will probably. So in this, we will be talking about few issues, which is not essentially restricted to Hadoop, or which is not only known in the context of Hadoop. It is quite general. So you have heard about these things in past in different contexts, and the same thing you will be also be looking here in the context of Hadoop. Time. Time. Just bear with me. So data integrity and data compression in Hadoop. So this data compression is not a new word for you. Okay, data compression is quite well known. Okay, we compress data when we would like to keep the data in the hard drive, or we would like to transfer the data over the network from one place to another place. It is chosen. Compression is chosen. So by compressing, you not only reduce the size of the file, but also make the file secure. Okay? So it doesn't get affected by noise and doesn't get corrupted. Data integrity and data compression. So data integrity, the data that is generated, the same data is kept, or same data is transferred and received in the other end. So how the data can be kept secure, or data is not being protected, etc. So these issues are discussed here in the data integrity. And data compression, of course, that data is compressed. So these 2 things are not completely new or not new in, okay, you already know, but how these things are dealt in the context of Hadoop, we will see. Then serialization in Hadoop, serialization, what serialization is, how it is done, that we will see here. Avro serialization tool, so one tool, Avro serialization tool, we will see when we talk about it. And file-based data structure in Hadoop, we will also see this. So this is fourth chapter in the book, Hadoop, Hadoop book, Hadoop book. Most of the information are taken from that. Some important links. You will see some questions related to chapter. Some good question MCQ and some questions that you can be prepared with for some kind of interview, etc. Okay, so as you probably are trying for internship or something, so these questions are important to get prepared with. Okay, so Hadoop input output. In Hadoop output, input output, or Hadoop framework, Hadoop comes with a set of primitives of data input output. Okay, but some of these techniques that are more general than the Hadoop, such as data integrity. Okay, so these things are more general. This is not specific to Hadoop. These things, these terms are more general. Data integrity, we talk about data integrity, we talk about data compression. Okay. And some of the methods for data compression and integrity, these things are not especially designed for Hadoop. Okay. You will see those things are common, those things are there, already there. But still, it deserves special consideration. Although they are not completely new thing, or they haven't been designed or developed only in the context of Hadoop or in the context of big data, but still, they need some more attention, some more care. Okay? So when a multi-terabyte data set is dealt with the same approach, okay, you have a few MBs of data to compress, and then again you have a lot of data to compress. Okay, so you have some, it demands some attention, some more care. Okay, although the method is same. So others are Hadoop tools or API that form a building block for developing distributed system such as serialization framework and on-disk data structure. Okay. So we will talk about this serialization framework and on-disk data structure as we have seen here. The serialization and data structure. Okay. So let's see, in tomorrow's class we will go a little bit more ahead in Hadoop input output briefly. But in tomorrow's class I will show you those command line interface and execution. So we have 2 classes tomorrow, so not theory, it turns a little bit boring, of course, I understand. Okay, so we'll continue tomorrow. So Anjali, Brenda, and just type your enrollment number here. Although I remember Anjali, Brenda. Just for the record, type your enrollment.